guys, welcome back to the BMWBLOG YouTube channel. I am with Ben from BMW Classic in Munich. He's been around for quite some time, and the reason for that is because we want to show you a very special BMW car today. So with that being said, let me flip it around so you can see it and Ben can tell us all about it. So Ben, what do we have here today?
That's the M8 Prototype, the one from the early 90s,
okay,
which was developed and then hidden away for at least 2 decades, and then somehow we decided to show it, and it was the first time at 2010 when we showed it and decided. Until then it was kept as a secret because, as you know, it never went into production.
So it's really just one car in the whole world ever, right?
It's a one-off. It hasn't been, and there's not one more hideaway anything or hidden away. It's just this one, yeah.
So it's invaluable basically, right? So we gotta be careful with it as we walk around.
I don't want to put a price tag on it anyway.
All right, sounds good. So tell me what's special about the car besides being for one-off. You know, tell me some of the specs, maybe the history behind it, you know, and then we can walk around and kind of see the carbon fiber bits and some other interesting things.
Yeah, basically I have to start with the engine.
Sure.
So the 8 series was famous for its 12 cylinders,
okay,
but R&D and the M section decided to have an even more sporty one and see what looks for, and then they were already building those S70 engines, and then in the 850 CSI, but they wanted to have more. And just to give you a rough number, this has over 600 horsepower at the beginning of the 90s.
That's amazing.
Back then, an E30 M3 was still like on the with a 230 horsepower, and then the E36 made 260, and this one even doubled that number and even more. So this is quite special.
So basically it's got the same power as the M5 CS today, right? Which is impressive, right? Like 20-something years ago?
Nearly 30 years later.
Yeah, 30 years later, actually 30 years later. Absolutely crazy. That's unbelievable.
And they used some famous stuff that you wouldn't see on a serial production. You might see from the side, you have those air intakes in front of the rear wheels. These are radiators, because they wanted to leave out the radiators over there, but that results in how to get the coolant there. And in fact, they had hoses going on the roof and then down again. So I spoke to one of the engineers. He told me that when you start the car and you're driving it, you hear the coolant flowing above your head, which is kind of a crazy noise that you're not familiar to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about the carbon, you know, that's part of the car, because there's so much carbon fiber around it, and I'm assuming that's why it's so lightweight. And
yeah, they have some body panels that were made in carbon fiber, and you would suggest that even the wheels, like the Star, is made of carbon fiber.
Okay.
But to be honest, and this is an insider information, it shouldn't be meant on YouTube, but it should. It's fake.
Oh, really?
It is.
So why is
they
that?
wanted to show that it's just a cover. It's fake. They wanted to show it because it was a show-off car, and to see, but it has steel reinforcement or aluminum reinforcement in the back. So this is carbon fiber. It's not like a sticker or something.
Yeah.
It is carbon fiber, but it's not like the structural.
But it's reinforced with
It's more or less a cover.
That's very interesting. I had no idea about that one. All right.
It's more or less a wheel hub.
You want to open the door maybe before we move to the back?
Yes.
I can hold it for you.
Just like brace yourself for a lot of Alcantara.
All right.
You can take, so nearly everything is covered in Alcantara, like the covers over here. Yeah, it has seen some testing, as you might suggest, from the tape that is just like written off, but everything, like the center console, everything is covered in Alcantara.
Lots of Alcantara.
Except those nice M fabric that you have in the M colors.
And then of course the
you see the
6-speed manual, right?
Yeah, it has a 6-speed manual. You see the additional gauges over there. So it looks totally different from it, and you might see that this was never meant for serial production. This was a true, let's say, test car, test mule of. They wanted to see, basically, they wanted to see of what is possible, and this is an approach that the engineers have always done during the whole history of M, and as well. I remember the guys taking big engines, putting in small cars like a Z3 V12 we have in stock, and this is something more. And while I'm opening the engine,
let's take a look at that.
It's like, and then they find out of how to cope with different things.
Sure.
And
right, so
let me see if I pulled it right. Yeah.
I think you got it.
So,
oh, look at that.
So you can see that's a lot of carbon fiber.
That's beautiful.
So you see,
all right.
this is very lightweight.
Very lightweight, yeah.
If you move it, you see it's very light.
Lightweight, yeah.
So you will see some cables unplugged, and this is a lot of things going on here. So it has a single air intake for every cylinder.
Yes.
But they were struggling to have a constant idle
Okay.
because of this. And this is why when they invented a bypass intake only for idling.
Interesting.
So it was very, very complex. And the engineers decided to get this one running again 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I witnessed it driving, not driving it, but running it. And it sounds strange because there's a lot of mechanical stuff going on.
Yeah.
But he said, no, that's okay. It sounds like this. It's not a refined engine for serial production, but it is raw and it is so powerful.
It's amazing, and so much carbon fiber again everywhere.
Carbon fiber,
right?
and you can. I don't know if the camera catches, but you can see by the paint, and this is all handmade.
You can see the shape actually right there. Very aerodynamic actually.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really beautiful. So tell me, how come that he never made it into production? Do you know the backstory behind that? I mean,
no. To be honest,
was it too expensive at the time? Do you think, or too powerful?
It was quite complicated to build this. As we just said, it's 30 years, but still the output of a current super sport or a sports sedan. And it would have been too expensive for people to just buying it. If you remember that even the 850 CSI was kind of a top range, or it was a top range car, and the price was also top range. And seeing just a few CSI being sold, then this one would have been like, today it would be a big classic to have just a few of them, but finally they decided not to have it. But the engine they took over then finally in a car named McLaren F1.
Awesome. So before I let you go, let's take a look in the back maybe, because it's a quite simple design yet very, very effective. So the one thing that I like about the E31 generation is like it's simple, it's clean.
It has this big taillight stuff going on.
Yeah, really big.
It has a kind of like, it's a sleek, there's no diffuser, what you can see now. Let me see, no, this is closed. But let's say it's a very sleek design.
Very sleek.
It's just like sleek lines.
And you can see those lines right here, like you mentioned, right? You can see them right there, the reflection and the aerodynamics right there.
Even more. And
I mean, you can really see it right there. And you mentioned the radiators right there too, right?
Yeah, that's radiators.
All right, Ben, this is amazing. So thanks for the quick overview. This is really, really a cool car. Every time that I see this car, it just never gets old. I've probably seen like 3-4 times. And actually the backstory for me is really, I was in Munich once for the launch of the BMW I, and that was the first time that they brought out the car at the BMW Museum. And not many people there knew exactly what it was. And the moment that I saw it, I'm like, wow, that's the car that I've been reading about it all these years and I've never really seen it. So
yeah, the funny thing is that some people, when we have it on exhibition, and it's not often the case, but people keep passing and say, oh, that's an 8 Series. Wait, no.
Exactly.
That's not an 8 Series.
Because yours doesn't have any badge, right? So you don't really know exactly what it is. Cool. So Ben, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoy this. You know, as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon. Bye now.